6:30 in the morning in Cincinnati, and it's like 32 degrees. We're supposed to do 7 miles today, but I'm not wearing the right shoes, so we'll see. Maybe I'll run it, but let me put my glove on, and we're gonna go for a little jog and chat in the cold in the early morning. And I just flew to Cincinnati. Oops, sorry. I just flew to Cincinnati. Orientation's locked. Okay. Yesterday from Japan. So this is like my attempt to destroy jet lag. We shall see. I don't even know where I'm gonna go. Whew, risk. All right. Should be fun. But good morning, friends. Hope you're doing well. Should be a nice evening stroll. I don't even know if we'll catch a sunset today because we're leaving so late. We'll see. And it's gonna be dark. And I've never live streamed off my Pixel before. Now, when I had a previous Pixel, live streaming was a hot mess. Like, basically, what am I trying to say? Like, my phone would always overheat because Google has all this like great facial tracking and AI like imaging stuff that they do, which is fun, it's helpful. But when you live stream, the processing to like keep using that is a little intense. Oh my gosh, there's 10 people here. Good morning. Welcome to Cincinnati, friends. We're on a jog. I'm gonna try to do 7 miles, but I had to bring a different pair of shoes from Japan, so I'm not sure how that's gonna hold up, but we'll do our best. This is where I used to work, so after I finish my run, I'll be hanging out here. I used to do robotic software development in that building. I've done a lot of testing and design in there. So welcome to Johnson & Johnson. Isn't it lovely? But I'm gonna go for a nice run. Wake my body up. It's like 4:30 and there's already a car here. What the heck? It's too early, bud. Go home. You think you're being more efficient, but you're really not. I'm like, what are you doing here? Some people get in early to work out though. Or they gotta go work in the lab. Who knows? Got good light in here. It's gonna get dark soon once I hit the trail. Alright, I'm gonna adjust my pace. I'm running in a hurry. That's normal. I normally start off too quick, and then once my body wakes up, it's a little bit easier for me to find a pace that's more temperate, if that makes sense. But yeah, if you got any questions about life in Japan, in this case Cincinnati, Johnson & Johnson, parenting, engineering, I got you covered. And it helps the run suck less when there's chat, because it gives me something to read, gives me people to talk to. But I'm a heavier guy. I'm about 300 pounds, and I like long distance running, so that's kind of my thing. It's weird, I know, but it works for me. And luckily, I found ways to run long distance safely, even though I'm heavier set. I do a lot of strength work, a lot of core stability, and I pick a nice moderate pace. I strive for low intensity, and that helps me on my little fitness journey. So hopefully that's an encouragement to you. I've been trying to make a half marathon training program. I think I've edited released about 10 weeks of it and released it on YouTube. I have another 6 weeks that I gotta get out there. So after I edit those full 16 weeks of the half marathon training program called DadBod, then I'm gonna organize it in a Google class, which is awesome. And then it'll be free. So if people are looking to try to train up for their first half marathon, the DadBod half marathon program is accessible to people who are heavier set, have pre-existing health conditions, or even like prior injuries. So I have a whole host of problems. My left knee's messed up from a football injury, and then I have 2 compressed discs in my spine. They're like fully flat. I'm talking pancakes, okay? Oh no, there's walnuts and crap on the ground. Oh no. Ankle rollers. You gotta be careful. You gotta be careful. It's gonna be dark for a while, friends. It's like 4:20 in the morning, so if you're new here, you're gonna see black screen once in a while. But I promise I'm here. It's dark, it's scary, I know. But we gotta catch a sunrise, okay? Whew. I'm like wearing a different pair of shoes today. I'm trying not to be in my head about it. We're almost up to a street light. Don't worry, you can see my beautiful face soon. Promise I'm still here. Just follow the sultry, wheezing sound of my voice. You'll see me soon. Promise. But we're supposed to do 7 miles today. I don't know. I'm just in a space of I don't know. Like, it's chilly. There's new shoes I'm wearing. I got jet lag. Oh, there I am. Ooh, hello. How's it going? I was gonna take us trail running, but I might need to follow streetlights today. Next tree. No, I'm kind of on my home turf. Me and my wife lived in Cincinnati for about 7 years, which was a great season of life. It was near and dear, but I used to walk to work up this hill. That's how close I lived. I love shadow running. It's great. But and then we had this crazy opportunity to go move out to Japan. And we've been living in Japan for almost 2 years. Our 2-year anniversary will be in March, right before I go on parental leave, which is crazy. So looking forward to that. That should be a lot of fun. But long distance running is one of my ways of keeping myself sane as I live across different time zones. So I just flew to the US over the last 24 hours. That was a long flight. I think it was 11 hours from Japan to Chicago, which actually, flying without kids, that's pretty cool. It's my first time doing that internationally. It's lonely. It's lonely without having to take care of kids. But you know what? It's a heck of a lot easier. So, and then had a 3-hour layover. Got some Uno's pizza, which honestly really isn't good pizza. And then about all these darn bills. And then from there, what did we do? I took a flight from Chicago to Cincinnati. And now I'm here, running with you. 4:30 in the morning in 32-degree weather. It's neat. There's some people waking up and heading out. It's exciting. But Not really sure how far I want to run, how far we're going to take this experience together. So, just kind of chatting through it. I know I've been going for a little while. Maybe. I'm trying to think. Distance is probably approaching half a mile. Oh yeah, it's dark. Maybe if I had, you could at least catch a street light. And a trash can. Ooh, hills. I'm not used to training hills. And these are little guys. This used to be my loop, man. Now it's somebody else's loop. When you move, things change. Here's my nice little dark street. Hey, we got a like? What? Dude, welcome to the 4:30 a.m. running club, friend. Don't know who you are, but you're great. I know it's dark right now, but eventually, when we catch that sunrise, we'll be able to talk a little bit more. But normally I say welcome to Tokyo on these runs, because that's where I live. But today, welcome to Cincinnati, Ohio, USA. Right at the heart of America. Swing state. Tri-state. That's pretty much all that. I'm gonna walk for a minute. Whew. Heart rate's racing, which is good. It's pretty aggressive tempo. And I'm just not, it's so silly. It really shouldn't matter. But, oh, there I am, spooky. Got a little bit of light. It shouldn't matter, but I'm wearing different shoes today. So, these shoes are normally my walking shoes. And when you walk, you have, there's something called a gait. A gait is like how you, best example is like a horse. You can like look at a horse and how it runs and see like how it lands on its feet, how high it lifts its legs. Like, there's a whole artistry to training horses well and like analyzing their gait so that they can be as fast as possible. I'm a very slow horse and be like doing a gait analysis on a cow. But basically, when you walk versus running, you have a different gait. So I'm wearing my normal everyday walking shoes because I didn't want to fly to the US with 3 pairs of shoes. I already had to bring my dress shoes because I gotta dress up nice. I gotta look swell, right? But then I didn't want to bring my walking shoes and my running shoes. And I didn't want to be walking around in my running shoes. So the trade-off I did was like, oh, well, I could try to go for a run in shoes that aren't really made for running. See how all that works out. Well, this is how it's working out, friends. My feet, after less than a mile, are already pretty sore. So, you know, the target's 7 miles. I might do a familiar loop. Maybe I'll do 3 to 4. But I don't want to mess up my shoes. I don't want to mess up my feet. I'm going to start to get back into a trottle. But the reason I'm concerned is this different pair of shoes. They're worn in differently. You know, when you walk, kind of, maybe you're back on your heels more, for instance. So like the whole way, my foot.
Total distance 1 mile.
Hey.
Total time 14 minutes and 38 seconds. Split pace 14 minutes 38 seconds per mile.
That's exciting. I don't know if you heard that or not. I'm not sure what happens when my phone tells me the distance while I'm live streaming. But I did 1 mile in 14 minutes. Dude, there's people that like go out and run a mile in 12 minutes, 10 minutes. That's just wild to me. Like, I used to be able to pull 10s. It's too fast. My personal opinion. Far too fast. Let's get on the street. Whew. But eventually, the moon will set the sun will rise. And this run will be a little bit more exciting to look at. You can only catch me basically on street lights. But then as my back gets turned to them, I vanish just as quickly as I appeared. There we go. Yeah, it's fun running in familiar areas. But the shoe thing's a real deal. I'm gonna walk again. Like, even just doing a mile, I'm gonna hit a couple deadlifts. Oh, whew. There's a whole bunch of factors here that I'm navigating physically. First of all, I got 18 hours of flight time under my belt from Japan to Chicago to Cincinnati. I was highly privileged that one of those flights was business class. So when you fly international on business class, which I would never do myself, but well, maybe someday, like someday if I was like financially set and my kids were taken care of. But when you work for a large global business, they have travel policies for any international flights longer than I think 6 hours. The policy requires business class. Japan's 10 hours. So I took business, which is cool because like your seat lays all the way flat and there's like a foot cubby. So you can create like a mini bed, which is, I mean, from a legroom perspective, it is massive compared to your normal seat. So I'm going to be very careful, right? Careful because I'm about to complain about business class, and I know misconstrue it, so I need to be careful, okay? So I'm about to complain about business class and seats that fold into beds. I'm like, even like, do I complain about this? I probably shouldn't. I think today's going to be a walk and jog. My shoes aren't set up well for a run. My body's really twisted up today, so we'll make it a light, fun recovery kind of run. But anyway, seats roll flat. I'm a big dude, 300 pounds, which is my own fault, and 6'3". Or in Japanese, I'm 190 centimeters, which is 190 centimeters. So even with the magic foldy beds, I've been able to lay out. I still gotta curl up into embryo mode. Y'all know embryo mode? It's like when you're like a little fetus all curled up. And like I was trying to sleep with noise canceling headphones, so like my arms and shoulders were all twisted because my head couldn't lay fully on a pillow without jabbing my ears. And like, again, super pretentious sounding, right? Because I know what's going on in the economy. I've done that trip. I've done that trip with multiple children. It's also not a good time, okay? But I'm gonna do a quick spiral twist in the middle of the road. Crazy person. There we go. Yeah, definitely a jog walk day. The shoes just don't feel well to run in. Like immediately the outside of my right foot was like, nah. That's exactly what I was feeling. Ghost Joe has reappeared, leaving the streetlight, and I fade into the black. Oh. But yeah, so it's fun to navigate, you know, being all twisted up. So I have 2 compressed discs in my lower back. I have sciatica on my right side. I have a knee injury on my left knee. My neck is almost always twisted. Haven't really figured out the neck. So all these posture issues, right? And then you curl me up in a little tiny plane bed for 12 hours. First of all, thank God I have a bed instead of a chair. So that was already a massive improvement. But this run definitely limited by pain. And that's just what it is. You know, so those are all the things I'm navigating. I like put curtains up. Nice. Very nice. I got a little, I don't know, who puts a cat tree outside? No worries. I think we've taken decent care of it. I just passed my one of my old homes. I used to live out here. It's dark, so I've decided not to film that naturally as I catch another street light to look at you. But it's always cool seeing what people do to your home. And actually, one thing I need to do is go on Zillow and download all the pictures of my old house, because it's been almost 2 years now, right? So if they consider moving, they're gonna upload their new pictures when they're the new homeowner. And I don't want to lose that. That'd be a bummer. Alright, what kind of workout do we want to make it today? We've already done a mile. We got sore feet, sore neck, sore back. Hands are getting a little chilly. And it's nothing we can't handle. Chat's quiet, but I should never make decisions off of chat, because you never know. You never know when somebody's gonna show up and hang out with you on a run, right? So I think I'm gonna try to do my old loop. Now we're kind of at the starting point of the workout. Plus we're a mile in, so we gotta take credit for that. That's nice. All right, shall we? Let me do 3 deadlifts. Let's try to get my hip placement. Work the hips. Here we go, old man. Open the back. 3, 2, 1. Seems super fast. You look at my shadows like, oh, it's really not that fast. His feet aren't even getting off the ground. It's a miracle he hasn't fallen over. We got stars tonight. It's brisk, but it's not icy. Well, it could be if it had rained on us. Nobody's awake yet because they're all lazy. Lazy people sleeping in past 4:45 a.m. Come on now. Gotta live a little. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. It's okay. You can work hard and wake up at 9 a.m., okay? It's okay. Just being sarcastic. Easy. So, what I'm doing this time around, really focusing on short steps and a tight gait. Basically, the first mile, I ran maybe 0.7, 0.8. I was running way too fast. I was striding it out. My feet were sore. My posture's all twisted. Like I don't have good core contraction today, which is really important for running. Some days I just wake up and the core's not there. Other days I can lock it in. And based on all the flights and the travel, the core's just not there. It's not my friend today, which is okay. So what happens though is if I'm doing big strides like I was doing, like full length, I do big strides without my core engaged, it causes my sacrum, which is kind of like your pelvis. Your hip bones are connected to it, kind of. It's like where your spine meets your pelvis, I think. It's complicated. But if I have too wide of a stride, I'm trying to go too fast and too impatient, that sacrum will put pressure on my spinal cord if it's hypermobile, which means I'm not squeezing my core, I'm not engaging my back in the right muscle sets. And that leads to a whole host of pain and problems. But sometimes when I'm sore and tired, in this case both, I just gotta put my shoes on and start. Even if it's messy, even if my pace is wrong, Even if my form is wrong, I just have to start. I still need to be reasonable and safe. And in some ways, because of the kind of training I've done, and the strength I've built up, I can start at risk without really messing something up, without getting my hip to start catching. And I can stay out of the injury zone because I have experience running long distance as a big guy. And then you saw after doing about 0.8 miles, 0.7 miles, we walked, we savored and enjoyed a little slice of history. We reflected and we talked, right? Now I was like, all right, well, let's consider that first mile. Let's just call it slop. Let's just say it's in the, it is what it is. It's over. My hand was getting chilly. I was like, maybe let's just see if we can hop back in to what I call the trottle. The trottle is fantastic. And it's really something you need to master if you're sorry, I'm burping. Still burping. Ugh. I was like, if I indulge that too much, that's gonna turn into puke. What is that? With the trottle, it's really something you need to master. It is, for a larger person, the superior long distance running form, okay? It's amazing. All it is you're gonna contract your core, and squeeze your lower back a little bit. You're gonna lean forward ever so slightly, and you're just gonna kind of roll from foot to foot. So when I run, I roll, or I land on heel, and I roll to toe. But the important thing is I have contracted hamstrings, glutes, quads, core, back, and a very gentle lean. So when I'm doing that, my feet land under me, in front of me, and that's really important. If they land under you, it's almost like a controlled fall. You're kind of falling from foot to foot. You're catching yourself, rolling and springing off your toe to the next foot. So it's like really efficient energy-wise. It's slow. You should be able to maintain a conversation like I'm doing. It doesn't have to be a perfect conversation, but you can talk nice and mellow. What happens is if you land with your heel out in front of your body, like past your center of gravity, which for some people that stride works, or if you're trying to run fast, that is the stride. But when you do that, it's really inefficient from an energy perspective, and it's higher impact. What was this hill? I remember this hill. Oh, I used to train this hill. But now I train in Japan. Now I do the tough stuff. So this hill ain't nothing. I got this. Up, 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 up. Almost there. Almost a peak. Getting there. Little by little.
Total distance 2 miles. Total time 29 minutes and 58 seconds. Split pace 15 minutes 19 seconds per mile.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with a 15-minute mile. I'll take that. It's all right. 2 miles, 30 minutes in. I should have shortly as I get closer to the light bulb. Here I come. Ghost of Christmas past. What's up? Spooky. I'm back. Alright, so 2 miles in. I'm supposed to do 7 today. I don't know, man. I really don't. I'm thinking about it too, and I'm like, shoot, I just gotta get to 3.5 and turn around. I'm in good shape. Found a throttle. Throttle helps tremendously. And if I hang out here long enough, I might see something besides stars. And I was like, if I go back to my hotel room right now, I'm just gonna fall asleep. Let's walk. Let's get our air back. We got a couple deadlifts. Like, working through adversity. Running in a suboptimal pair of shoes. It's one of my favorite pretentious engineer expressions. Suboptimal. The internet loves that one. My head's not on straight today. I can feel it twisted up a little bit. Like, shoot, son. How do I get it back? Alright, so we're about to go on another breezy stretch. Actually, surprised how long some of these paths are. When I used to run, getting to this point would almost be a mile, so it's kind of cool to reach it sooner. It's just based on where I started. Let's see. Just put one foot in front of the other. Soon you'll be walking out the door. It's fun being out at 4:45 in the morning. You could be a derp. Nobody would ever know. They're all in their beds, being sleepyheads. The only problem here is if I was attacked by a wild animal or a wild person. Only you few souls on YouTube would bear witness to my demise. It's funny though, like in Japan, I never ever worry or feel unsafe. So I'm doing some deadlifts. Never worry or feel unsafe running out in the wilderness. Like the only thing I'm ever worried about really is like me getting tired to run home, which is a very real thing to be worried about. My left leg's pulling a little stronger than the right. My hips aren't level, so just being mindful. Really not down for limping today, you know? Just not what I'm looking forward to. But at least I got some nice cool breeze, nice 32 degrees breeze. It's quite pleasant. We got good gas prices out here, $3.29. I don't know how much gas costs where you're at, but I remember when gas was $1.72. Then the boomers on here will be like, I remember when gas was 28 cents. And then they'll probably say something really bigoted after that. Something like super racist about Arab peoples. It's not funny, it's really sad. I laugh because I'm just like, why? Why is this the world we live in? It's so funny, like just how broken and messed up everything is, right? All right, we got a very dark stretch coming up. Long, dark stretch. So at the end of this though, I'll get the perk of mile number 3. And mile number 3, we could start thinking, maybe we are gonna hit 7 today. We'll see. See how my phone holds up. All right, I'm gonna get 2 deadlifts and I'm gonna try to throttle it again. Nice and easy. Keep telling myself, I'm like, Joe, you're running long distance. You're not in a hurry. If you're in a hurry, you're gonna lose. Enjoy the jog, enjoy the journey, because you're gonna be here for a while. Also, Joe, remember, you have the strength and endurance to do this. You don't need to be afraid. These are your, I was gonna say midnight affirmations. These are your 4:45 a.m. affirmations. On a brisk Cincinnati morning. Now, there's almost no lighting on this stretch, so it's just going to be podcast Joe. Listen to the sound of my breathing and you'll you'll know. We're jogging. It's mellow. It's fun. Really, not much to see unless a car comes by, which it may. You know, by 4:45, 4:50, 5 o'clock, people actually start to wake up with some form of initiative to go to work. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. It's okay. If they're still sleeping, it's fine. It's fine. I like to troll, okay? I know that I have one of those weird brains that wakes up and kicks butt and burns out by 11 a.m. And I take a nap. And part of it is like, I gotta work out before my kids wake up so I can take care of them. And I work across time zones. And I take midday naps. I got a whole wonky cycle, okay? So please don't compare yourself with me, because we're in different lanes and neither lane is superior. They just are. You gotta find the rhythm of life. The rhythm of life that works well for you. And friends, there's nothing wrong with your phone. It's just dark. I know people are tapping the refresh like, what's wrong with this live? No, it's just dark. Your dark mode is on your phone. That's why it's so black. I'm just trolling. So I'm going to see if I could run to 3 miles right now. We're at like 2.2-ish. There's a car. For a moment, there was humanity. And now it's gone. Gone. Like Frank Sinatra. Like Elvis and his mom. Nothing lasts forever. Oh, it's blinding. If there's a puddle or a stick, there's no hope for me. It's so bright. Burning my eyes out. Alright. One thing I noticed, I'm jogging in a hurry. Also, it is fall in America. In Japan, they're lagging a little bit, okay? It's not true fall, so I'm over here running by all this bush and trees and crap, and it smells like everything's dying. And there's something nice, it's giving me that pumpkin patch vibe. It's great. Pumpkin patches, wonderful, right? Love it. But my allergies. I'm like, oh shoot, am I gonna die out here from ragweed? Or because you got different pollinants, different pollen. That's probably the right word, pollen. You got different pollen in the U.S. versus Japan. Different pollutants. Is pollen a pollutant? I guess it's biodegradable. It doesn't impact your air quality, though. Very complex question. Now you got me curious, friends. Also, in case you're wondering, because you can't really tell on the phone, up ahead on the horizon, I'm seeing the slightest glimmer of the sun. So, if you hang out for another 20, 40 minutes, you might be able to catch a beautiful sunrise in Cincinnati, okay? That's pretty neat. I mean, I'm just catching all these headlights. But this run is actually really, really helpful for me to reset my circadian rhythm. And it won't be a perfect reset, but I'm running it close to the right time. I normally wake up at 4:30 and get out on my legs around 5 and run for 2 hours till I run until 7. For the case of today, I'm in probably, how far am I going today? 7 miles. But I woke up at like 3. So I woke up an hour and a half early. So I just called my Alexa show at my house and talked with my kids because it's like dinner time for them. You know, because I just wanted to reconnect. I love my babies, you know. The babies are great. Gotta love the babies. So I connected with home, got dressed kind of slow, snoozed a little bit. I think I formally started this thing at like 4:27 in the morning, which isn't bad. I think it's a good start, honestly. So it'll be good for me to be out on my body because when I wake up in Japan, I literally do same thing. I wake up at like 4:30, get out on a run, eat my breakfast, feed my children, take them to school, hop on a morning Zoom so I can grab US folks by like 8 a.m. I got like it's a whole vibe, is that what they say? Is that what the kids are saying these days? It's a vibe. So this run's really helpful because it trains my circadian rhythm. The other things I tried to do, not perfectly, is on the plane and coming off the plane, because I flew internationally, I was careful about when I ate and how much. And for the most part, I avoided alcohol. And if you do that, it helps your brain. Helps you. It's amazing how much your stomach drives your circadian rhythm. So, tried to intentionally sleep at certain points. Tried to eat at certain points. Nice, gorgeous houses today. So my plan is I'm going to run straight just past 3 miles. And then I'm going to cut it back and do some wibbly wobbly, windy path. And that should get us close to 7 today. And you know, now that I'm, 2.5 miles in, 2.6 miles in. This is really psychotic, but 7 miles doesn't feel that far. I found in long distance running, knowing that first mile and a half is the worst. I mean, once you start stacking distance, yes, the later miles suck. They all suck in their own special way. But like, I think it comes down to like the amount of emotional and mental grit required to do the workout. That's what interests me. So like, I think the emotional and mental grit required to run your first 2 miles, especially of a long run, sometimes that's a lot higher than the last 2 miles. Because not only do you have to like put on your shoes, wake up, but you gotta navigate all the noise. You're navigating what you're coming into that workout with, like prior stiffness, soreness, fatigue if you didn't sleep well, you know, maybe stress from what you couldn't get done. You gotta navigate all of yesterday. And on top of that,
Total distance 3 miles. Total time 44 minutes and 39 seconds. Split pace 14 minutes 41 seconds per mile.
I have to turn around and run up this hill. It's gonna suck. I hate hills. Literally, like the one thing I would change about Cincinnati is just make it flat. If it's flat, it's doable. But yeah, so put on your shoes for that first 2 miles. Mentally, it's a huge load there because you're navigating all the inertia of the last day, keeping you from showing up fresh and well. And then also you kind of have the what I call the Thanos effect. I coined that today. That's brand new. You have the Thanos effect of dread, right? Dread it, run from it. Destiny still arrives, right? You got that whole dynamic to deal with. So like, you is you're stepping out, you're navigating all the crap from the last 48 hours. You're navigating all the dread, fear, and anxiety of the journey you're about to start, right? Will I be able to run the full distance? Will I finish this workout on time to maintain my other life commitments? Will I get hurt or injured? Or will I be too sore today to be productive? Or, like, you have all the will I's and the what ifs and the shouldas and the couldas. Like, you got to navigate all that noise. And that noise is really freaking loud. So if you can waddle your way, fast run, slow walk, jog, just like grit through the first, it's really like 1.8 miles. It's not even a full 2, but if you get through that first little nudge, it's amazing how much your mind opens up. And I know I sound psychotic to people who don't run. It takes a lot of training to get to the point I'm talking about. But eventually, this mental space, it's building up the right expectations mentally. So, like, you can train yourself in all the right ways. You fight through all the inertia of the last day's run, all the fear of today's. But you step your foot down at the start of mile 2, start of mile 3, even though you got plenty of work to do. Like, I'm still working. But if you become well conditioned mentally, physically, even if you're big like me, you can be conditioned with the right expectations. You can, you'll be amazed how light you feel on mile 2 and mile 3. And normally I do what's called line running. So I don't run in a loop. The reason I don't like loops, Fruity Loops, is you have to keep running farther and farther to stretch out your loop. And it's easy to cheat yourself. And I don't like that. You can always run a smaller loop. There's never a good halfway point psychologically if you keep, because your path changes every week as you have to create a bigger loop. So what I prefer is like line running or snake running, where you follow a path, a known path, you run to halfway, and you turn around and you snake yourself back. And then the next time you go out, you need to run a little farther, so you have to run an extra mile. Well, you run to the same point you ran last time, which is doable because you've done it, right? And then after you accomplish that, you just go forward another half mile. And honestly, that's a stretch that's hard. You don't want to go another half mile. You don't want to keep throttling. But you do it because you know that relative to the last run, you can stretch a little farther. And then when you get to that halfway point, something magic happens. It's like the biggest head game trick for me is like, I know that I can run that half mile back, like that extra half mile I did. Like, all right, I can get back to where that started. So that gets compartmentalized. I'm gonna run to a street light up ahead. So I know I can get there. And then, to make it more interesting, you're like, well, now that I'm back to that initial send-off point, I know I was able to run this return path last time. So like, it enables you to stack an extra mile without really stacking an extra mile. It's like a psychological thing. It's still an extra mile. You're still doing the work. It's like a parlor trick, right? It's not real. But a large portion of running, is physical, right? My body has to be safe and conditioned to do what I'm doing. But a large portion is mental. And you gotta work both sides of that continuum. Alright, back, don't stop. I just hit my halfway. Woo, burp. Oh my goodness. So I hit halfway, so roughly, not perfectly, we're at 3:05. Tacked on a couple bonus tails because I wanted to take a winding, familiar path to the next location. So, see if I can keep trucking along here, move my big, hefty frame. 7 miles. Woo! Keep talking to the air. Should be fun. Ooh, sewage. Nasty. Shouldn't have breathed. I should breathe another time. Another day. Ooh. My goodness. Oh. My goodness. Keep it going. Oh. Wow. So, soreness. Let's do a body check, okay? Check screen. Overall, I'm gonna do a couple deadlifts. Calf, front of my shins, outside of my shins, outside of my feet are sore. Let's get back into it gentle. Core, I'm starting to get core strength. I kind of feel like, you know, when you build a tower of Legos, but it's skewed enough. It's skewed enough that you're uncertain which blocks to pop out, you know? That's how my spine feels today from all the travel. I'm a little bit uncertain of my posture and my form because I have some pretty big differences in mobility or looseness of some sides of my muscles versus others. So I just feel twisted. From a glutes perspective, we're doing pretty good. I feel like I got good power into my booty today. I'll take it. Hamstrings are solid because I worked those well. I really kicked butt last week on the strength stuff. Like, I showed up consistently for myself even though I was busy. And that's huge. Like, you gotta show up, you know. So, happy with that. So, that's going well. Booty's carrying me. Walking for a second to fix my glove. There's some things that are easier to do when you're not running. Yeah, like defusing a bomb. Definitely shouldn't do that while you're running. Just seems a little bit unsafe. Keep it going. That's good. Whew. So one area that's really kind of tight and odd, which is fine. It's like my upper back, collarbone, shoulder, neck area. That's one of the wonkiest feeling things, actually. It's been really good to just get out on my legs and get moving and like making my arms sway. Because when I sway, sometimes I could like drop my shoulders. It kind of works into those muscles a little bit. try to keep my head looking straight. So I think that's been going pretty well. Yeah, today's workout, 7 miles. I tricked myself into doing it. I was in the headspace of, let's go run a mile. Let's go run 2 miles. Let's say that anything is a success, right? That was totally my headspace. And it's okay to be there. It's okay to not be in the meathead mode of like, I'm gonna go and crush this workout because I'm a monster in the gym. Right? I don't have that. So for me, I was like, you know what? If I put my shoes on and I go out and jog a little and come back, that's success. I don't have the right shoes. I'm not sure that I have the right gear for cold weather out here. I'm not used to running in the cold. Cincinnati's not cold. I don't have my live streaming set up. Like, I'm sore. I'm twisted up from 15 hours of travel. I have my circadian rhythm is backwards because it's not quite sure where we live yet, right? I got all these things working against this workout. So sometimes, in order to reduce the intensity or the dread, because sometimes intensity and dread will keep us from doing anything at all, right? So it's like a hose. And I got all my running parables dropping today. It's like a hose, right? Sometimes you're like faucet. If somebody like tightened it really tight, you know, it's the first time turning it on after the winter, it's like stuck, right? And no matter how much you want to push on it, it's not going to go. It's just stuck there. But once you can get it to break loose, just a little bit, so a trickle of water's coming out. All right, let the water run. You can normally start to twist it the rest of the way without issue. Normally, not always.
Total distance 4 miles.
Yay!
Total time 58 minutes and 34 seconds. Split pace 13 minutes 55 seconds per mile.
4 miles, baby. And we're at 58 minutes. So we're floating just under 15-minute miles. That's great. I'm over here celebrating, like, we did it. And I was like, oh no, I'm a long way from my hotel. Didn't do it yet. Let's walk. Let's get our breathing under control. Let's windmill our arms a little bit. Yeah, so like with your hose allegory. Ooh, sore. These are definitely walking shoes, not running shoes. I like them for the run though. They're doing the job. It's just they're worn in for a different heel strike, a different posture, which is totally fine. Oh, nice Christmas tree lights. Lovely. But yeah, so with that fossil example, it takes a lot of effort just to get that hose cracked open so it trickles. But then from there, as the water's flowing, right, it becomes easier and easier. Keep opening up that valve, letting it flow. And I think sometimes when we have a lot of anxiety or dread for a workout, going into it, it is okay to adjust what success could look like. And I use could because if you keep it in kind of the less committal space, sometimes, not always, that could actually work in your favor because it allows you to exceed those initial expectations where you're like, well, let's go a mile and see. I think let's go a mile and see is like a great, should put that on a t-shirt, right? Because it's like, let's go a mile and see. All right, let's do another mile. All right. And you can like keep like edging yourself along. It doesn't always work, but today was definitely a let's go a mile and see kind of day, where I really had to just kind of get out on my legs, get out in the cold, get out in these new shoes, which are really old shoes, and go a mile and see. And that every step of that first mile was filled with doubt, insecurity. I was in a rush to get it done. I was chilly. It was messy. And this is so nice. They've been building this area. So actually, when I used to do runs, I would run through here because it was like really beautiful, rich houses and stuff. And it was like super developed in one part. And then you get to the end of it, and it was undeveloped dirt, bulldozers. And I kind of stepped to the boundary and pray, because my life kind of felt that way. Like I could see looking back what God had built, coming from a faith context. And then looking forward, I was like, well, shoot, what path are we going to make in this? I'm actually really excited to kind of see what's been developed here. Because now 2 years into this Japan job, it's all coming together for me a little bit. See what God's going to build next. But there's a heck of a lot more down than there was. I mean, it's paved. It might connect all the way now. That's wild. But so let's go a mile and see. That was helpful for me to realize, like, okay, I can get to 2 miles safely. Once I got to 2 miles, I was like, well, I can run to 3. Like, instead of being in the mindset of I got to start looping things back, I was like, well, let's see if we could get out to 3. 3's a good run. That would be 6 miles if I had to run back. And I was like, well, let's see if we could get out to 3.5. That would be a good mile. That'd be a good distance. So I pep talked myself and said, wow, this is all new. This is all completely new. No, maybe not yet. Maybe it's after this house. So I think there's a path to a trail. The reason I remember is I slipped on black ice out here. It was epic. Like, I like winter running, snow running. I don't get to do very much of that in Japan. Ooh, nice hip wobble. That probably looked really interesting. Luckily everyone's asleep. But, ooh, nice lighting. That's cool. I can say hi to people finally. So if you're new here, friends, we've run about 3.5 miles, walked. Actually, we're at 4. So we only got 2.5 left. So I'm going to start throttling again soon, I think. I am really enjoying just walking. It's a nice walk. Wow, all this is new. They have even like a nice little grove here, like a little park down the middle. You know how much Americans love their yards, right? So they have a shared yard. That's actually one of the strangest things for me coming back. Like as soon as I came back and got in a car, I was like, what the heck? What is all this grass? Japan doesn't have grass. You know, for them to fight the housing crisis, they've eliminated grass. It's very efficient. Wow, these are all brand new. In the last 2 years, these have been put up. It's beautiful, beautiful neighborhood. Maybe I'll come live here. I don't know if I can afford these. These are monsters. I think they're around Cincinnati. I think these were going for like 600 to 800K. Something ludicrous. I would have to do very, very well. Which we're not. And they got like street parking even. They don't even have parking. They don't even have a garage. That's so weird. Unless the garage is on the backside. Yeah, the garage looks like it's on the backside. I was like, they put up a house this big with no garage? You have to go and shovel? They probably don't shovel here. They probably have a homeowners association. You got a fountain. There's always a fountain somewhere. Yo, it's freezing. If it's freezing, why are you running your fountain? You don't need to see your wealth, okay? Through moving water. I know some of us can't afford moving water. We're just trying to get drinking water, you know? You're out here with your little water spectacle. Watch, someday I'll have a fountain. I'll be eating my words, right? Wow. They turned dirt into all of this in 2 years. Because it was literally a pile of bulldozed dirt. I mean, there's still a little bit right there. What the heck is that? Did somebody build a 4-story house over there for no reason? They just wanted something really weird and custom, I guess. It's nice not being in a hurry, though. I can actually enjoy this. Did they really do that? And they kind of folded this in. So we're trying to get out to the Blue Ash development. Well, now I'm curious if I'm crazy. If none of that was new. Because I feel like I ran along there and fell. Maybe I was tripping. Maybe this is all the new stuff. That is huge. They have a balcony? Why do they need a 4-story home? Why do you want 4 stories? Is it an apartment complex? It can't be. It's got a chimney. Oh, the tieback in the world. Doesn't make any sense. No sense whatsoever. You're gonna have multiple full height windows, multiple balconies. That's gotta be a complex or something. There's no way that's a single family home. If it is, oh my God. It's gonna be nice. Maybe it is. Shoot. I'm in the wrong profession. That's not true. I'm very thankful for what I have. I should actually be telling myself, I was like, Joe, you're on the right path. J&J flew you internationally business class. I know it's the first time and it may be the last time for a long time. But we're going to hold on to that and say we're on the right path. And maybe eventually they'll give me the title and the compensation that's equitable to the work I've actually been doing the last 2 years. That's what happens with J&J. I love J&J. But they tend to have people do the job for free for a couple years before they actually title them and pay them for it. So it's like I know the game, but I'm still frustrated by it. Because it's like, come on, let's make it right. Make it right, please. I'm not greedy, I know what I can make elsewhere at this point with the skills that I have. Oh man, what a nice walk. You know, you could burn just as much calories by walking as running. I mean, it depends on terrain and distance, right? It's not like a 1-to-1. But, you know, if you have the choice to walk a mile or run a mile, well, yeah, if you run a mile, you'll probably do better. But if you then have the energy to walk 1.5 miles, eventually you get to some kind of parity on distance and effort. So I'm actually not really getting down on myself that I'm just kind of enjoying a nice walk. There's a lot of new things that have been built and developed. This is Cincinnati Rehabilitation Hospital. Cool. I didn't even know we had one of them. Now we do. This is all brand new and it's connected. I used to have to run across construction territory illegally. Not illegally. There weren't any signs, but one could tell that maybe the sidewalk's not here anymore. But I was tired and it was snowy and the fastest pass to that tower. Ooh, birds. Those birds gotta flee. It's gonna get cold. My fingers are cold. Wow. So they're putting all that in fun. So I'm on the other side. I hope this connects. We gotta get out to the tower. There. Arabella! Luxury townhouses. Okay. Alright, cool. So if you want to live on the trail, there's some kind of UFO flying out there. I don't know if you can see it. It's pretty crazy. It's probably just a person with a light on their head biking. Are they running? They are hauling butt if they're running. There's no way they're running. That would be a full sprint. Come into the light, I need to know. I want to chase them, but I'll never get them. It's gotta be. Are you running? Oh, come on, get into a street light or something. It's still uncertain. That's gotta be a bike. That's way too fast. Alright. Making good progress. We're probably getting close to about 4.5 miles, so we're approaching home stretch territory, which is nice. I probably should start jogging in because it's getting a little brisk. Nothing I can't handle, but it would be a little bit more pleasant if I was actually moving. But that requires me to move. Alright, fine. You convinced me, good work. Thanks for reminding me that even though walking is parody. I could probably jog my butt home. Yeah, nice night jog. Sun still hasn't come up, which is a little concerning. Thought we'd see some sunshine by now, but maybe not. I mean, the Earth is tilted away from the sun right now in the northern hemisphere, so. And I started early. Maybe we'll catch some sunlight at another time. Whew. Yeah, running was the right choice. It was good to get out of my body. It's good to wake up. These shoes didn't permanently damage my feet or anything weird. Some adjustments had to be made, but nothing too severe. Now we're looking at maybe 2.5 miles left of our 7-mile run, maybe even less. I'd say that's pretty good progress for the day. Pretty strong start. Oh, they finished these luxury apartments. So nice. Fine Cincinnati dining room. They have a pool. They got indoor and outdoor pool. Look at you. Some nice grilling space. Fun times. So, trying to make our way out to Summit Park. Wow, they really expanded these things out. It's exciting. Good for them. I mean, they worked on this stuff for probably 5 years. It's nice to see people living here. They figured it out. The district. They got a whole vibe. Trying to make a new yuppity upper class living area. Blue Ash, Cincinnati. Get on you, mate. That's how I feel about that. So I'm over here like, hey, it would be really nice if I heard 5 miles. It'd make me feel a little bit less doubtful about these shenanigans. Trying to be patient. It's a nice park though in the winter. Might do a couple laps here actually. Just to make sure I make the 7 mile. Because it's probably from here. Yeah. We're looking at like a mile. Yeah, just about a mile to get back to the hotel. So I should probably hang out in this park a little bit until we get close. Looks nice though. Big blue tower. Morning. It's so weird. By default, I was like, I need to bow to this person. And I need to say like, Ohio gozaimasu. No, you don't, Joe. You know why? Because you're not in Japan. Sure, it's nice. Why'd they close it off though? What are they doing? Blocked off my tower. So, running 7 might be a little tricky. Let's see. I think the loop I picked, even though it felt long enough, I'm already realizing like, oh, maybe it's too short. We'll see. Now I'm like, well, it'd kind of be cool if we were done. I'll keep walking, but 7 miles is starting to feel elusive. And I don't want to take my glove off to check my distance. I'll just wait for it to tell me 5, and then I'll be like, all right, well, how do I do a big enough square? Oh, They have the off-market.
Total distance 5 miles.
Hey!
Total time 1 hour 15 minutes and 54 seconds.
Good pace.
Split pace 17 minutes 19 seconds per mile.
Yeah. All right. Now let's stick with the program. Got them all programmed. So what I'll do, so I'll kind of run a long, winding path to my hotel through things that I find aesthetic. Some of the path going in the right direction, some of it going in the wrong direction. And then I'll, if I get to my hotel and I'm short, maybe I'll just do like a couple laps around the parking lot, which is super boring. I like to run to go places and see stuff, right? I don't like running for running's sake. It's really about the process. I should come here on my own and see if I can learn how to ice skate. I've never been able to do it. Alright, let's go. Welcome to the Brown Dog Cafe. So normally I would cut across that light, but there's a sugar and spice. Holy crap. Oh my god, I need to eat there. There's already people there? Why is this place open? I need pancakes. Can we just go eat pancakes here right now? Come on now. Are you serious? There's a sugar and spice right here. Sugar and spice is like a cult classic in Cincinnati. Okay, I'm gonna take you over there. They have like, it's a diner, really aesthetic look and feel, but they give you plastic ducks. Oh my god, when do they open? 7 a.m. I'll be here for breakfast. I get free continental breakfast at 6. I'll get double breakfast here at 7, and I'll go to work. Oh my god. I should text my mom and dad, be like, hey, wanna go eat sugar and spice for breakfast? Huge floor plans. Not bad, but you're gonna pay for it. Again, Cincinnati with their running water. It's steaming because it's 32 degrees. Turn that crap off. You're gonna blow out your pipes. Higher gravity. It's a bar and bottle shop. Live higher. Ice cream. Okay, let's walk again. So the reason I'm walking is because walking is just as good as running. You don't need to feel bad about it. I already soapboxed people earlier, but they left because people swipe in and out of live. So, hey friends, welcome to Cincinnati. Normally I say welcome to Japan, but I'm on a business trip, so figure I'd take you for a run in my neck of the woods. We're on the way to doing 3 miles. It's a good time. 3 miles, 7 miles. 3 miles is baby stuff. Just kidding, it's not baby stuff. If you're only going 3 miles, that's impressive. All right. I'm on day like 170. Yeah, maybe 168 of my personal fitness journey. I mean, I've been going on it for multiple months, but multiple years. But I really started keeping track when I started filming the DadBod half marathon program. And I think it's helpful for people also if they like, some people are going to end up doing that half marathon training program like 2, 3, 5 years after I recorded it. At least that's the way I designed it, hopefully. Who knows? Maybe no one will ever use it, but I'm hopeful that eventually it'll be encouraging to people once I organize it. And the reason I like to keep track on what day I am in my fitness journey is if people are starting to do that half marathon training program and they're on week 1, week 2, bunny, week 3, week 4, I don't want them to show up to a live stream on YouTube and see me lifting crazy weights or running 6-7 miles with good form, good intensity, because in that program there's a lot of days where I couldn't do the full runs or I was run walking, which is totally fine, and so I keep track of what day I'm on, just so that people in the program don't struggle with comparison, because comparison is like, it's the enemy of progress, and isn't it like the enemy of joy as well? Sometimes comparison can be a helpful accelerant or motivator for you to move towards something good or different in your life. But a lot of times, comparison can give us like an unfair expectation, especially how things are kind of filtered through social media. And what happens with that is we start to think that we can obtain certain results in a certain amount of time with a certain amount of effort. And somewhere in those certains, there's something that is uncertain. And we don't see the progress we expect from that initial comparison. Then we get down on ourselves and we quit. So my whole program is really about like throwing comparison out the window and figuring out what are the right goals for you in your unique fitness journey, and how can you take the right incremental steps towards progress and towards that goal, little by little over time. That's why the half marathon program is 16 weeks instead of 8 weeks, and there's no like secret sauce or shortcut. You show up and you do the work little by little, and you'll accomplish your goal. And it'll be messy, but you'll do it. And then there's the like, well, what now? What after? Right? So I think it's okay to compare against yourself looking towards a future state. A lot of times, like, people can even get hung up on like, this is the body I have today versus the body I had in high school or in college. And it's like, yeah, but you also are raising 3 kids and have a full-time job. You live in a food desert, or like all these different things, right? Where it's like that comparison isn't fair to yourself based on all the other circumstances you're experiencing. Sure, if you want to be as healthy or healthier than you were in high school or college, there are paths to probably make things like that possible. But you're not going to see that for multiple months and or years of consistency. So what are like goals you can measure and see in the next 10 weeks, right? And it's probably not the scale. It could be. For me, I like to do functional measurements. So like, we're going to try to jog again. My legs are finally starting to get a little sore 5 miles in. Or they're like, sure about that? That is right where I'm at right now. My body's finally like, are you sure about this? Are we really gonna run that for really? What if you don't? What if we just go home? Can you like order an Uber? It really seems kind of frivolous and ego driven for you to feel like you need to be running anymore. Why don't we just be done? Ooh, deer. There's literally deer. That ooh, deer was actually deer. But no, so DadBod, which is my fitness program that I'm working on, it's still gonna push people to get the best results they can, but without that comparison, without filtered perfect bodies. It's messy. Anyway, I'm gonna walk again. Heart rate's climbing. It's all right. I'm in what we call, of any long distance run, the walk trottle. The walk trottle's great. The trottle is my half marathon pace. It is nice, tight core, slight lean forward, mellow, talking pace running, jogging if you're a fan of Ron Burgundy. And then the walk is a walk. So what happens is when I get late miles, especially if I'm still live streaming and talking, and we've been live for about an hour and a half on this brisk Cincinnati workout, about 5 miles in, just over actually. Once my heart rate is too high, I gotta drive it down if I'm doing long distance work. I don't like to operate with my heart rate flying. I mean, maybe on the last finish, sure. But for me, I care about kind of locking in a consistent pace. So we go to walk trottle. So what walk trottle is my heart rate was high, I was breathing heavy, and I was sensing that my trottle pace was turning into a run. It literally pushes me towards running faster because I'm tired and sick of the workout, which is true. I mean, an hour and a half in 32-degree weather, 5 miles in. Yeah, I think about at this point I would prefer to not, right? So what happens though is the cold, being sick of it, it causes me to start to lose form. What I'll start to do is stride. So I'll lengthen the distance between my feet landing. But sometimes as I do that, I'll lose a healthy forward lean. I'll lose core bracing and tightness. And it can put pressure on my lower back, like on my spine, which creates pain. And sciatica. Sciatica is numbness in my right hip to knee on the outside of my leg. When that starts to go numb, my gait changes. I start to run unbalanced. I land weird. And then it increases impact on my knees and hips. So the thing I could do for self-control is if I start to lose form, because I'm losing my trottle, things start picking up and I'm getting impatient, I'm running too fast, too far, too quickly, I can just drop into a walk. And I'll still take a deep breath. I'll still walk with good form. And with a walk, what's nice is I can land with my feet past my center of gravity, but it's lower impact because it's a walk. I can breathe. I can refine my core. Sometimes I can even stop and hit a couple deadlifts just to get my core strength. And when I get my breathing under control, there's kind of a reset of expectations of it's pretty classic. It's like the, okay, Joe, in case you forgot, we're running long distance. We are not finishing this workout in 5 minutes. We are finishing this workout in about 30. So now that your expectations are reset, take a deep breath. You lean forward a little bit, start catching yourself on your feet, and you trottle little by little. No rush, nothing crazy. You just move yourself incrementally forward. That's all it is. So the walk trottle is a powerful tool for doing long distance. It's not something that you should feel guilty about. It's actually incredibly valuable. Whew. And it's something I enjoy. So I want to go that way from my hotel, but I got to go a little farther. 1 second. All right, so we're at 5.82. Sorry, I had to use my nose to control my screen. 5.82. That far is almost a mile. Not quite. So I'm gonna run to 6.1 that way, come back, that'll be 6.3. Yeah, that'll work. Oh, that's a bad verb. Oh no. Hi friends, if anyone's new here, welcome to Cincinnati. It's 5:20 in the morning. We've been running since 4 a.m. It's 32 degrees, we're 300 pounds. Best day ever. We're jet lagged from 15 hours of airfare from Japan to Chicago. What, they took my sidewalk? What the fuck? Crap, this is dangerous. People drive like idiots at 5 in the morning. Shit. Is there one on that side? Alright. I want to live, not die, so let's jog on the median. Hope for the best here. Took my sidewalk, what the heck? I haven't lived here in a while, okay? I've forgotten things. Just keep running in the median like an idiot. Yeah, still running on slippy grass like an idiot. I'm waiting for a cop to like pop his cherries. And they're like, hey, you shouldn't run on the median. I was like, I know, I made a mistake. I'm sorry, officer. So sorry. It's a very real thing. All right, let's walk. I guess I ran that pace a little. It's a little steep. We're working our way to 6 miles. We're definitely winded. Definitely a little chilly at this point. Not too bad though. I actually tried to dress well for the elements, so I don't think we're in bad shape. Waiting for sunrise, it'd be really good for my. It's just really great. I catch sunrise. Morning, Mr. Light Pipe. Over here, like, how freaking far do I have to run? I want to do 7 miles. It's like, well, you probably need to run 7 miles, so let's start with that. Let's finish.
Total distance 6 miles.
Hey.
Total time 1 hour 32 minutes and 36 seconds. Split pace 16 minutes 42 seconds per mile.
All right. That's great. All right, so we're looking at, we're an hour, 30 minutes. Oh, there we go. There we go. At least we're running. Kind of jarring. I wish they didn't stop the rhythm for me. So I'm gonna run out to like the highway is up there, and that'll give me an extra maybe 0.1 miles, and then I'll turn it back and that'll give me 0.2, and the rest of the path should be about a mile. Hard part is like I want it to end. I was going to follow it up, and I was like, actually, no, I just want it to end. I want it to be done. There's nothing wrong with wanting a workout to not be a workout anymore. But I know if I cut it back now, I'd probably end up short, and then I'd have to navigate being short. That's almost more stressful. Pretty good. All right, almost ready. It's cold. 32 degrees. 32 degrees is pretty chill. Could be worse. We're gonna run up to that green light way up there, and if we run to that, that'll put us at like 6.2 miles, which is actually, that's a 10K. 10K is not bad. Today we're going for 7. Next week we got 8. Right around Thanksgiving. Isn't that great? Who wants to run 8 miles right after Thanksgiving? Anybody? Anyone? Bueller? Actually, no. I think I run 8 miles the Monday before Thanksgiving. And after Thanksgiving I get to drop down to 5. So, and that's an intentional choice. It's also partially the turkey. I would like my turn, please. Wow. All the lights. Ooh, knee just popped and dislocated. That was fun. Was that good? Was that a good pop? Was that freeing or injuring? You never really know. At my age, when something clicks or pops, you never really know if it's like freeing and a good thing or if you're injured. And there's always that moment of like, are we good? Are we alive? Is it gonna be okay? Oh Lord! I don't know why to do that. It's my favorite, like when my hip or my back or my neck will do that. And I'm kind of like, and I like stand up, I'm like, oh, that was refreshing. But you can never repeat it, you know? If you try to do it yourself, then you run into like even more pain and discomfort. It's hilarious. Getting old is fun. You get to do all the preventive maintenance you can. Alright. Woo! Brisk! It's finally catching up with me. It only took 2 hours for me to finally be like, hey, it's cold. It's plenty cold out right now. I'm gonna text my mama in the morning. Yeah, hey Ma, I know I said I was gonna go to work, but you wanna go to Sugar and Spice and get some pancakes and waffles? Hey Mama, they got a nice omelet there. Woo! Oh man, I remember when I used to bike to work down this street. Now I bike everywhere. That felt super progressive. How do I safely bike from A to B in Cincinnati? Ugh, sore. Alright, well, we're almost at 7 miles, but we're at like 6.1, 6.2. So it's been a good live. And I'm just gonna get an Uber home for the last 0.8 miles. I just don't really feel up to the task. Take an Uber, kill the live. Some good friends. I'll see you next time. Just kidding. Just kidding. I'll walk so I can get it done. We'll walk trottle this sucker home. Luckily though, with all the adjustments I made, I feel like we're on track to have the 7 miles hit near the hotel. What's going to be super demotivating is if I get to the hotel and it's like, oh, you're half a mile short. I'm just going to be mad. I'm just going to be straight mad. I might be mad enough to be like, yeah, 6.5 miles, whatever, I'm taking a shower, right? Like, there's always, that toxic Joe always exists somewhere. Woo! But we out here, we working, we doing the best we can. And I'll probably be like, oh, shucks. Let me do one more lap around Johnson & Johnson. Because my hotel's right next to the building. Let me do one more lap. Woo! Okay. Got nice lean. Honestly though, running with good form. I think I might go to the gym after this and just try to do a hang. See how long I can hang. Hopefully it'll loosen me up a little bit, decompress me. Woo! Making our way, friends. Maybe we'll finish this stupid run. Ah! Oh. Not done yet. I don't even have a button. What? How am I supposed to cross this road? Deadlift. Get the booty cracks. Sorry, booty crack sounds weird. I mean, when I do a deadlift hinge, my hip cracks and I feel the stretch in my booty side. I realize that. That's loopy 5:30 a.m. talking. You can't trust a thing coming out of my mouth right now. I'm in a state of cold, running, jet lag delirium, okay? This is like the closest thing to a trip I will ever take. Not really. I don't really do any substances, but I run. Let's walk for a minute, get our breathing. We're definitely in the walk, run space. It's amazing though, you get out on your body for a decent length of time, and even though things are creaking and popping and moving, you know, shoulders aren't really where they're supposed to be, for instance. If you keep working it, you do kind of ease into it, which is awesome. Like, my body, as tired, as cold as I am, I feel like my posture is better than it's been the last 48 hours, because a long distance run kind of forces that necessity. Like, it starts to kind of pull itself into shape. So for me, functional movement is actually really important. For other people, it's stretching. I'm hypermobile, so stretching can actually be damaging. I'm prone to overstretching. So I tend to only do a little bit of dynamic stretching and work a lot more on endurance and strength and stability. I'm a big stability guy, all right? You gotta stay stable. Like a horse in a stable. All right, let's jog it up. I'm gonna see if I can get to the street light. Reason being, I don't want to run anymore. So it's a nice intermittent goal. I'm like, well, I don't want to run, but I know I can jog with safe form to that street light without my cardio getting out of control, breathing wise. If I go beyond that, I'll start to run in a hurry because I want to be done with it. Form will start to slip. So I'm like, commit to the walk, throttle. Just work in small pieces, get it done, have good form, be safe. All about good form. Little by little, you can't rush progress. So say you can't rush it, but you can slow down. You could be impatient into yourself, and ooh, that's a good way to end progress right there. Oh yeah. You roll your ankle bad enough, you'll be out for a season. Actually, ankle health is an area I have a lot of. Like, I tend to hit rocks and stuff and stay on my feet. But I'm interested. You can actually train a lot of muscles. I meant close to light, whatever. You could train a lot of muscles in your shins, ankles, and stuff to make yourself like injury proof. Ooh, somebody started off with Jesus this morning. Look and dreams and make them beautiful. That's how I roll. Watch, that little tiny YouTube thing's gonna get this whole video copyright infringed. Woo! Alright, let's go. Let's go. Keep it up. Keep it moving. Nice bright start to the day. Can't ask for more than that, right? Welcome to Blue Ash. Achieve. Advance. Aspire? I guess aspiring for what? Maybe it's because I'm tired and running. But I initially read it as like achieve, advance, perspire. I was like, oh yeah, I guess you gotta put in the sweat. You gotta put in the work if you want to see those results. Woo! Almost there. Very, very close now. Again, Ohio with its fountains and running water. Why? Why do we do that? I don't think I'm going to hit 7. I'm already here navigating my existential dread. I'm like, all right, I'm going to go past the hotel. And I'm going to do 2 loops around this other building. This is why I hate loop running. I mean, I ran so many squiggle loops on this run. Cut back over my path multiple times. Psychologically, it's exhausting. And then you get to the finish and you're like, no, not enough. A little bit more, please. Why? Why is that the way it needs to be? Oh, we never caught a sunrise, man. What time is it? Wake up, Earth. It's in eternal sleep right now. Dreadful. Hour 45, we should be close. Let me check with my nose. 6.8, all right. That's not impossible. Actually, 6.8, there's our hotel. We'll probably be at 6.97. We might have did it. Oh, snap. We ambussed these suites. Come hang out with me, friends. My room number is, I'm just kidding. Please don't come and visit me. I will be working next door. I prefer that you don't find me and show up to my hotel. All right. 7 miles. Almost there. Form is slipping. That's good. I'm walking. Very sore. I'm like, this is a shortcut, so take the long cut. Although this cut has actual lighting and it's about comparable distance. So I hope you can actually see my exhausted face. Look at how tired I am. I'm just kidding, I'm energized. I just ran. I ran almost 7 miles. So I'm ready to slay the day. I'm ready to kick a tiger in the face, right? Like that's the kind of day we're gonna have. I'm ready to take a nap underneath the desk because I'm jet lagged. No, I think I got it. Last night, me and my parents talked about politics. That kept me up till 8. Went to sleep at like 8:30. Woke up at 3 a.m. Which in some ways is expected. If I went to bed at 8:30 in Japan, I'd wake up at 3 a.m. So I normally go to bed around 11, wake up at 4:30. And that tight 4.5 hours tends to keep me alive and not too grumpy. That's one of the real reasons we need sleep, is just so we can have like a restful disposition of patience, grace, active listening, gentleness. You know, like if you come from a faith-based context, for instance, like I do, there's something called like the fruits of the Spirit. There's a little kid song for it. The Spirit's like the Holy Spirit. It like empowers us. It's like God in us. It's a whole thing. We can explain that on another live. But the fruits of the Spirit are, there's a song like, the fruits of the Spirit aren't a grape. Fruits of the Spirit aren't a grape. Want to be a grape? Might as well hear it. Can't be a fruit of the Spirit. And then the song is like, but the fruit is love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. Love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. And then you change the fruit. Like, fruit of the Spirit's not a tomato. My kids love it. But anyway, if you want any of those things, love, joy, peace, kindness, love, joy, peace, kindness, love, joy, peace, patience, it's the one you always miss, right? Patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. If you want any of those things, it's pretty hard to get them if you're not rested. Like, it's a great way to build them is to test yourself when you're not rested, right? Go ahead, show up tired, show up exhausted, and see how well you do with love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness when you're absolutely exhausted. You're not patient, you're not loving, you're not joyful. So you need some sleep. So for me, I try to optimize enough sleep to not
Total
lose
distance
them.
7 miles.
Yes!
Total time 1 hour 50 minutes and 12
Yes!
seconds. Split pace
We're
17
done!
minutes 36 seconds per
Oh
mile.
my God. You know, it's not the worst workout I've ever done, 7 miles, but it's cold. It's the wrong shoes. It's sore. I is jet lagged. There's a lot of things I don't like that I did this morning, and I'm so proud of us for doing this. It's so fun because there's so many people coming through the live today, and not one of them said anything in the comments, and that's okay, because sometimes the way life's set up, you gotta go it alone and know that this workout's for me, right? Ugh. I'm out here sweating for me, and if people enjoyed it, they hung around for a while and were blessed by the conversation, the singing, and my mind slowly unraveling little by little, feel free to drop on by. I'll be over here for a bit. Please don't find me. But, hopefully it was a blessing to folks. That's why I do these things. It's fun, and it gives me a space to process. So now that I'm well rested, I can go and start my day. But to the 5 people hanging out, 3 people hanging out, appreciate y'all. I'm going to drop off, take a cold shower after a cold run, eat breakfast number 1, maybe go out to Sugar and Spice for breakfast number 2, go to work and slay my day, call my kids. Should be a fun day in Ohio. Bet. See you around, friends. Let me kill the live. I don't know how to do this on this phone.